We don't do that here.
But the cream rises to the top.
Long sleep.
Oh, the
cryo sleep. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I could do one of those. Very, very casual of me to say, because this is the ultimate effing casual. I wonder how much of that's going to make the final cut. Who knows? If you want to find out, you could go to Patreon. Look us up over there. LVX Media Net, as we are everywhere else. If you want to hear what we were just talking about, what cryo sleep, what the fuck is he talking about? Yeah, that's what I would say if I were you. Let's get into the shit here. On the 14th, Canelo versus Edgar Berlanga. Isaac, could you start, please? Because I'm not sure yet what I want to say.
All right, yeah. I would say this card had some moments, but I was one of the people that were expecting Canelo to get a KO here, and I thought he should have. Now, while Berlanga did show a chin, like for the level that Canelo was on, I still think he should have been able to get a KO. And this is one of those things, like this was supposed to be, Canelo getting his non-David Benavidez fight, because he's nearing the end of his career. He can pick and choose. But, he's sort of, we got a knockdown of it, but this is now, I believe, his sixth fight without a knockout. I don't know, man. I feel like the decline questions could maybe start coming. Canelo looked good and all, but, looking good against Berlanga might not be the hardest thing out there. If this would have been like a decision fight against Crawford or Benavidez, something like that, no one would be complaining. But I think the fans were expecting more for this type of fight, at least.
I think the lack of knockout, it's disappointing, but I think the more disappointing aspect is how was this fight even competitive in the last 3 rounds? Because Berlanga seemed to really step on the gas, and he wasn't having a crazy amount of success, but he was still standing toe-to-toe as if he's doing a Golovkin impression. And it's how is this possible? How is someone as, he's a failed top-ranked prospect. That's what Berlanga is, right? And he's standing there with someone who's supposed to be a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter, and it's just disappointing. I could get if I've seen some people say this is, this is like the late-stage Floyd Mayweather, right? He's not stopping people anymore, but he's beautifully outboxing them, and that's fine. That's enough. But man, I don't know if people have a perspective on how good or rather bad Berlanga is. It's right to expect a little more out of Canelo in this kind of setting.
It is right to expect more. I agree with you.
Yeah. Honestly, whenever Berlanga, I forget exactly which round it was, but whenever he hurt his hand, I thought we were about to see some type of crazy knockout.
It was in the mid rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, Berlanga made it so obvious as well because he looked to his hand. You could clearly tell it was hurt. I thought we were gonna see Canelo turn it up a little bit, but no. But Berlanga sort of stayed in there. He continued to. He was tagging Canelo.
Yes.
Canelo took some shots in that fight, and yes, his chin is good. He was not hurt at all by these shots, but he still got hit.
But Canelo shouldn't be getting hit by guys like Berlanga.
Yeah. Yeah, or if you're getting hit, at least have it be like an Usyk type hit where you get hit but you deliver a devastating blow or something like that. I'm a Canelo fan, but it was slightly disappointing to see this.
So it is his 6th fight since his last stoppage. His last stoppage was Caleb Plant in November of 21. 6 fights since then. One of them is the loss to Bivol as well. So I don't know if you want to count that as 5 or 6 fights, but still.
As soon as the Munguia fight was announced, it was he needs to knock this guy out, and he took him to a decision. And then he says he's going to fight Berlanga, and it's okay, well, he really needs to knock this guy out. And then even that goes to a decision. That's all right, come on, man.
All right, last thing.
And it's not that Canelo looks bad, right? Because the knockdown he did have was impeccable timing.
Yes.
But it's where's the follow-up to that, Where's the killer instinct at the end of the day,
Getting knocked down by Canelo or even just tagged, we used to see momentum build in his favor, and people would say, oh, knockout's on the way, and we would be right, I mean, we saw it with Caleb Plant. We saw him break him down. Billy Joe Saunders. We saw the knockout. But like
Kovalev.
recently it's just like, I mean, he's landing and all, but he can't. I mean, like you said, the killer instinct. There's no. I don't know if he's not seeing the finish, or what's going on, but something has changed. I mean, he's still dominant, but he's not as dominant as he was.
So John Ryder was dropped in the 5th. Charlo got knocked down in the 7th. Munguia in the 4th, and Berlanga in the 3rd. So there's more than enough time to mount a stronger offensive game to get the stoppage. And you guys are absolutely right. Why are you not doing that? But Saul Dinero Alvarez is not doing it for me. I'm not enjoying this. Sweeping cherry picks aside like this, I'm not feeling it.
What did you guys think about the rest of the Canelo card? Just like quickly.
Yeah. Brawley looked like shit, so that's fun. Damn it, I'm trying to remember what else happened.
I thought the Plant fight was actually pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, the Plant fight was really good.
I thought it was gonna be like a stomping, but Trevor actually had like power.
Yeah.
And he was giving Plant like some serious issues at the very beginning.
I did not see.
Oh, the Fulton fight, yeah.
I did not see Royman Villa lose. That's kind of sad because Villa's a fun contender, high level contender. And yeah, Fulton in the temple.
Yeah, got like hit directly to the temple.
Yeah,
like it was as flush as the shot gets, and he just couldn't get up.
Fulton squeaks by Castro. I do not agree with this decision. I thought Castro did enough to win. Hey, look at that. They have a typo here. Instead of Fulton down round 5, it says Futon.
Futon?
That's what you are. You fucking folded when Castro put the pressure on.
Yeah.
Not happy about that.
And then Lara, bruh. Lara,
Danny
like
Garcia.
seeing Lara in this fight, I don't know. I don't know if it's been a while since I've seen him or if, like, you know, if it's just how he looks now, but man, he looked really old in this fight. Like really, really old. Somehow though, he gets the knockout still.
I think the Zarafa KO in his last one it put higher expectations than he really should have. It did for me anyway. And knockout is that's a really strong term. Danny Garcia.
Yeah, TKO, I guess. Yeah,
he didn't want to continue. I think he still had whatever issues he's been having that got him to retire the first time and the second time. He's still dealing with that. He didn't want to be there. But this is all me speculating. I don't know for sure any of this. Just based on what I have experienced in my life and what I saw watching Danny go back to the corner, the way he looked at Angel, and then that acknowledgement from Angel. It's like, yeah, he knows something's up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's something more upbeat. November 16th, UFC 309. The headline and co-main were announced. There are some other speculated fights, but the Jones versus Stipe is finally happening.
Let's go.
What are
confirmed for now? He could pull out.
What are the odds Jones retires after the fight?
I'm
probably about
90% sure.
That's. I mean, you're probably right. I was gonna say like 70%, but I'm just holding out hope that he doesn't. Probably a false hope though.
I will be pleasantly surprised, and I hope it happens. You know, that he doesn't retire. But I don't know, man. With everything he's been saying, I don't know if he is gonna stay.
I'm hoping and praying. If I could just will one upset into existence, is this one. Jones does not need to win this fight. Stipe could win it.
If Jon Jones wins and he retires, if he at any point says, "I avoided no one," would Tom Aspinall change his nickname to Tom No One Aspinall? Because he avoided no one, right? I set that one up nicely. Being the ultimate effing casual that I am, I am fully on the Jon Jones is the absolute duck. Aspinall's the truth. And sucks to suck, Jon Jones. Get out of the snow, buddy. Get back to the gym.
Apparently, he was hanging out with Ryan Garcia last night, so
Oh, I'm sure those guys are great influences on each other.
they were in Las Vegas, and then I'm sure they just went out to dinner
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then went back home. But
Quiet night in. Played Scrabble.
yeah, someone checked the Las Vegas police records.
In Discord when that picture came up. This is your point of view. Them looking at you with those dumb fucking smirks on their faces. You are hanging out with them. You go to the bathroom, and when you come back, the entire... Yeah, that's definitely not going to be in the the public portion.
Chandler and Oliveira, I'm actually
Yes,
pretty excited.
that actually sounds like a really cool fight. Oliveira, I've seen him enough times since I started watching to know he's really fucking exciting. And Chandler, by Nathan, how you kind of broke it down for me was when he came from Bellator, he came with the mentality of, fuck the record, I'm here to beat some asses. I'm here to get highlight wins.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
He quit fighting smart once he came to the UFC. What I mean by that is like his offensive wrestling and his maybe his tactical wrestling rather just went out the window. He's like, I'm just gonna stand and throw, and I'm gonna knock you out, or I'm gonna get knocked out. And so pretty much every fight he's been in the UFC has been awesome, which is why it's such a shame that he's had such a long hiatus. But better late than never, and you couldn't have asked for a better opponent, I don't think.
Yeah, and this is a rematch too, because Oliveira KO'd Chandler in their first one.
Yeah,
Oliveira was getting steamrolled in the first round, but at the beginning of the second round, he clocked Chandler.
This was Chandler's second fight in the UFC, and it was for the title. It was a vacant title at 155 pounds. So their first meeting was awesome.
Yeah, this is where I think this fight is what started the Dana White privilege meme, because Chandler, his second fight was for the title. I have no doubt that's going to be an exciting fight.
Yeah, don't have much to add. I haven't seen enough of Chandler to speak on it, but yeah, this sounds like it's going to be great. So even if the fucking old timer and the don't measure up, at least we have Chandler Oliveira.
This will make up. This is a main event tier fight.
Mm-hmm.
This is Caleb Plant versus McCumbee and Jones Miocic, Canelo Berlanga.
It comes full circle again.
Yes, it does. Bo Nickel versus Paul Craig. Isaac, you said this was one of the ones being discussed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one is confirmed. And Bo Nickel's a pretty big prospect. At middleweight and in the UFC in general. So like, there's gonna be a lot of eyes on him. And Paul Craig is a dude that he can lose against a can, but he could also at the same time end up steamrolling Bo Nickel somehow. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. I do think Bo Nickel's gonna win, but Paul Craig every once in a while pulls a rabbit out of the hat. So we'll see.
He is like the definition of a journeyman gatekeeper kind of guy. He's been around for a while, and he's the kind of guy you give to kind of the up and comer, and it's like, all right, well, let's see if you're legit or not. Beat this guy, because so far he's been fighting crappier
journeyman,
low tier. Yeah, exactly. Not even gatekeepers yet. So this will be a good test for sure. He should built up win easily.
Slow. Yeah, he's being built up slow, and I think it's a good thing. He agrees with the UFC, like the pace that they're putting him at, and I don't know. I think it's somewhat of a good idea, like putting him up slow. Like he slowly getting better. He's coming in with a wrestling background, but is like starting to fine tune his striking and everything. So I don't know. Maybe 1 or 2 years we could see him being a main guy at middleweight. But this is a nice fight. This is a nice step for Bo.
In 2019, he won the Under 23 World Wrestling Championship and also the U.S. National Championship.
Yeah, I don't follow wrestling much, but from what I've heard, the UFC analysts say, apparently he's like a wrestling phenomenon.
Yeah, He's former, what is this? A folk style wrestler? That I've never heard of. So I know freestyle and Greco-Roman.
Yeah, I've never heard of folks though.
I haven't either, but that's pretty cool. So yeah, this is the attempt to counter the Dagestani Sambo guys.
Yeah.
With some good old American folk style. He's also has a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, so that's pretty cool. Talking more about this as it develops. So let's get into some recaps, some quick ones. Dana White Contender Series Week 5. The main event was all right, so I would say check it out. There's a good submission in there, so enjoy. The Bellator card in London. Oh, the Dana White shit was on Tuesday, September 10th. This is September 14th at the OVO Arena in London. The Edlin-Edwards rematch was canceled, and so we had Sarah Collins submitting Leah McCourt. It's all right, I guess. This is what we're here for, though. UFC 306 at the Sphere, Riyadh season, Noche UFC, brought to you by Manscaped. Fucking buzz it all down. I don't know what other sponsors we have. Brought to you by Vici Investments. Take all the land. All right.
Probably had a Coco Ichibanya sponsor there somewhere as well.
Yeah, sponsored by Coco Ichibanya. Double meat, double cheese, level 10, 500 grams of rice.
Damn.
We're shitting fire for a week. Starting at the early prelims, Raul Rosas gets the UD over Aori Chileng. I didn't see this one. I know, Isaac, you did. I saw you talking about it in Discord.
Yeah. I ended up finding it by accident because I thought I was going to be on Fight Pass, but I ended up finding it on YouTube TV. I caught like the last round and a half. I mean, Rosas won. I mean, pretty clearly.
He swept.
Yeah, no controversy. I mean, he looked good. Didn't get a finish, but this was a road to UFC guy, I want to say.
Probably.
And
Chinese.
yeah, I mean, he beat him. Dana White, I think, in the post-fight press conference, said, it was a nice win. And, he continues to rack up wins at a young age. So, I don't know.
He's still a teenager.
It's something to keep watching.
That's nuts.
He's pretty insane. He said he wants to retire by 25.
Oh,
so
Jared Anderson.
Yeah,
all right.
I don't know.
All right.
It was a nice fight.
Moving up, Joshua Van gets the UD over Edgar Chairez. This is one I saw as you guys came on. I was watching this one, so I didn't see a lot of it.
Yeah, this was like about as good as you can get for the prelim opener or opener to the card or whatever. This fight was actually really good. Joshua Van coming in late replacement. I think it was like 11 days or something like that. It was almost pure striking. There was a little bit of wrestling, but in the first, I want to say it was the second round. Chairez got rocked. Like Joshua Van was letting go combo or was ripping combos into Chairez, and Chairez looked like he was out on his feet. He was against the cage, just covering up. But in one of those, like in between Van's combo, he just throws a spinning back fist, catches Van, and Van like falls over to the side into like another part of the octagon, and he was also like, he looked like he was out on his feet and ended up going back to the ground. They somehow both survived, and I thought the fight was going to end in round 2, but we ended up getting a decision win for Van, and this was a nice fight. Like I would recommend watching that one. This is a very, very nice fight.
Let's continue the theme, because I didn't see Souza Huaregi either, but it was an early submission.
Yeah, this was in the first round. So in this fight, Yasmin Huaregi was actually like winning pretty convincingly. Like just in the striking, she gets caught sort of a little bit after the middle of the first round, if I remember correctly. She gets caught by a hook at the end of a combo that she just did not see at all. And I mean, it was a textbook hook. Her neck spun. She went to sleep, but she woke up as she hit the ground. But by then, Ketlin Souza, before Yasmin could fully wake up, she locks in a choke, and it was just night.
Yikes.
Yasmin like fully went to sleep as well. She did not tap.
Woof.
Yeah, fully went to sleep.
That's about how the Leah McCourt submission went on the Bellator side of things. Ignacio Bahamondes stops Manuel Torres. Early win. Can you take away a lot from an early KO?
I mean, what I took away from this is like, Bahamundes is like, he did good tape study, a nice counterpuncher. But Manuel Torres needs to work on some stuff. Like, these guys are both prospects. For however long it lasted, it was an exciting fight. But both of these guys they're still prospects. Torres shouldn't be down. He got caught. I mean, he got cracked, like really, really bad on one of his entries. He fell down to the ground, but managed to get back up and like continued on for a little bit. But then he got cracked in the same exact way by Bahamundes, and he got like really hurt in the second time, and Bahamundes just like ended it. Torres didn't go to sleep, but it was a good stoppage. That's Ignacio Bahamundes is a name we're gonna have to watch out for. Maybe even potentially next year we're gonna start seeing him top 15, maybe even top 10. Really tall fighter, nice combinations, fights really well at range. I think both of these guys deserve to be watched, or everyone should keep their eyes on them.
Keep track.
Yeah, but Bahamundes is nice.
And ending the prelims, Norma Dumont beats Irene Aldana. Was that an Enya? I didn't see. Aldana, whatever. It was a good fight for Dumont, I guess. That cut was pretty gross. There was a lot of blood.
Yeah, we've been getting some bad cuts recently.
Yeah.
And this one, I think so far takes the cake. This was a massive, massive cut. But yeah, this is like, we saw like pure boxing does not work as well in MMA just because, Irene was like, she continued to walk forward the entire time, but Dumont would just like pick her off at range. Leg kicks were thrown as well, and Irene got dominated like bad. But she showed, whenever they always say this in like the boxing commentary, but whenever you're commenting on a fighter's heart,
they're losing.
It's normally not a good sign.
Yeah.
But we had a similar situation here with Aldana. Moving
into the pay-per-view portion, Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne. How fun was this? This was really good. I think when we were in the Discord, you were saying this was like a classic, instant classic kind of thing.
Yeah, I think this is truly a fight that people needed to check out. This was a crazy performance, and like the entire fight had a storyline
back and forth.
And the fact that Ronaldo survived, he got put to sleep, woke up on the ground, survived a crazy tight choke, and then came back. The second round, he fully dominated Osborne in the second round, and then the third round was a little bit close, but Ronaldo comes away with the win.
Yeah,
it's only 3 rounds, but there was a storyline with those 3 rounds, and it was emphatic.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one thing I did notice is you said like he got knocked out, or he was lights out. That's how he looked as he was going down. But when his head bounced on the canvas, that looks like that's what woke him up. Then in the second round, that body triangle that he had Osborne locked into, by description only, someone would think it's a wrestle fucking situation, but that's not at all what was happening. Ronaldo was constantly threatening submissions. Osborne was constantly trying to, fight out of it, strike to get attention away from something. There was still a lot of work happening on the ground in this situation. So,
this was like, for the people that hate wrestling, they might even still like the second round of that fight because they were not like staying still.
Yeah.
It was constant like scramble movement. Osborne trying to escape, Ronaldo trying to get some elbows in, trying to lock in a submission if he could find it. This was a crazy fight.
Yep. Really, really good.
It was a crazy fight, yeah.
When Osborne got up, I say get up, he was helped up at the end of the second. It looks like that triangle on his body like just sapped him of everything he had because he could barely walk. He looked like he was passing out in the corner. Like his coach kept like smacking him, like tapping his face, like, "Hey, are you there? I'm trying to give some instruction here."
Yeah, and that's like, it's one of those like weird like mind. I don't know if it messed with Ode's mind that, in the first round he almost got him out of there, but then Ronaldo came back in the second round.
I clocked
and was
him
able to
clean.
put Osborne. Yeah, like what else could Osborne do?
Yeah.
Like I had him in a super tight submission. I put him to sleep, and now in the second round he comes back and puts me down.
Yeah.
Like now I'm the one fighting for my life here. Like yeah, that must be a massive
That's
psychological.
Yeah, that's hard to think about. Like I did everything right, and I'm losing. That's
where you just really got to bite down on your mouthpiece and just be a warrior.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
he did.
And he tried. Yeah, he did.
He absolutely did.
His corner was also telling him like, we need the third round.
Yeah.
Like you can still win this. We need the third round.
Esteban Ribovic gets a split decision over Daniel Zaluber. Was this a coin toss?
Oh man!
Like at the end?
Like the decision?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Zellhuber almost got put out in that last round. Like he was actually. There's arguments that the ref should have stopped in the third round, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like from an optic perspective, you sort of have to give it to Ribovic, but I think regardless of the decision, I wouldn't consider either of these guys losers.
No, definitely not
at all.
No, this was such a tremendous fight. Like,
yeah, their stocks shot up like massive.
This one was just like the last fight in that each round was a different story. Very, very similar to that. I mean, just so many different momentum swings, like multiple ones in between rounds too. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, I was really high on Zellhuber coming in. He had racked up some nice wins prior to this. I didn't know who Esteban was, but I saw him in the first round. Man, this dude is fast. Like his hand speed is crazy. And I mean, they whoever the matchmaker was, they were cooking for real because this was an incredible matchup.
Should they do it again?
I don't think
say
anyone
no,
would
man.
complain.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would complain. I mean, they got fight of the night, and then I think Dana White gave them like
Bonus.
personal praise.
Oh, praise from Dana White. That's gonna pay the mortgage. Good stuff.
Yeah,
unironically, it does. It's kind of a dark wrinkle to this organization is if you can just impress. Yeah, if Dana likes you, if you can somehow make him do that, he's gonna literally quadruple your earnings overnight.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's gonna pay the mortgage. All right, moving up, Diego Lopez. Oh my goodness, what a fucking performance! Brian Ortega, hell of a chin because he was getting work and he was still coming after it, but just. Lopez is the truth. He is everything that we've been saying he is. He absolutely is. I think Dana White said afterwards, or Diego asked Dana, who was, cage side, where's my ranking? He said, no, now you're third. I think that's a really good spot. But does he, should he shoot up that high? I'm about to pull up the rankings and see, because I don't know.
I mean,
it's only Max and Alex ahead of him, no?
At feather now, but there's like Arnold Allen, Yair still there, Evloev.
I think you could justify giving him a top 4 rating for sure because the guys below Ortega have not looked all that impressive, or they've done worse. They've done bad. It's definitely part of a marketing move. Lopez is good enough now to move up the rankings, so I'm really interested to see what his next fight is going to be. Are they going to let him fight Volk? Or are they going to give him a title shot after the Max Topuria fight? I don't know.
And like Lopez is becoming a little bit of a I hesitate to use the term star because I don't know if he's quite at that level, but he has a pretty big following.
He does, absolutely.
And like a lot of the fans care about his fights. I mean, I don't know. I think Max though. I mean, Diego, I think just needs one more fight, and he could maybe get the title shot afterwards.
I think if he rematched Evloev, he would beat his ass.
That has a storyline to it.
It does. That would be a good one.
To it, yeah.
If you want to line him up for a title shot, have him get back his loss, the one loss he has in the UFC, would be a good one.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, that was a good fight. I was rewatching a part of it this morning, and someone pointed out online that the first punch that Diego hurt Brian with put Brian out, but because the combination was so fast, Diego hit him with the second punch, and that punch woke him up. And it sort of does look like it.
It sort of does look like it. I'm gonna have to watch for that now. Yeah,
because like Brian's legs like fully buckle and he looks like he's falling down, but then the second punch comes in and like Brian like just immediately stands up. So I don't know. It's some crazy power, man. Round 1 for Diego Lopez is about as dangerous as
that was a very intense 5 minutes.
Yeah,
very
about as
intense.
dangerous as it gets.
So MMA is starting to get bigger and bigger in Mexico and the Mexican diaspora. Diego Lopez comes from Brazil. He speaks Portuguese and Spanish, so he straddles the line, and he can kind of claim both because he lives in Mexico, trains in Mexico. He's the head grappling coach of the Grasso gym, where Alexa Grasso trains and a whole lot of other people train out of too. But also, being in Mexico, I think he's getting some good boxing coaching while he's there. Because those hands were fucking dangerous, man. Like you said,
Chris.
Yeah,
he's got power. He's got power too, does. Man. He's got serious power. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was embracing like, I think they've asked him this in like press conferences. Like he fully embraces Mexican culture too. Like I mean, he showed up with the sombrero and then the sarape as well. Like he fully embraces it, and I think. I don't know at a world level yet, but at least in Mexico, I feel like he's somewhat of a star.
Adopted son.
Yeah, a lot of people like him.
Yeah, I mean, and they're hungry for another champ because they got a taste of it with Moreno, and he's kind of fallen off a cliff lately. So
we're gonna have to see. Moreno's gonna have to. That's a hard fight he's got in November. But yeah, Lopez is exciting. I feel like matchmakers probably love him. So many exciting fights you could.
Good style clash with anyone. Looking at these, I don't see a lot of challenges for him here in the
Diego
rankings.
Is super well rounded.
Like Max, Taporia, Volk, of course, those guys. But
could you imagine like a Diego Lopez and Ilia Taporia fight?
Oh my lord! Might have just put boxing gloves on.
Yeah.
Just go 12-3.
Don't breathe. You're not allowed to breathe for the first round, man. I mean,
I feel like there's inevitable. There's gonna be a KO. I feel like there's too much power coming both ways.
Yeah. Quickly, where does Ortega go from here?
I think that he was trying to go to lightweight.
Okay.
What he was saying.
All right, that makes sense.
So
yeah, he does seem pretty big, like height and his frame. He seems a lot bigger than featherweight.
He's got really nice grappling, so we'll see. We'll see if he can have success at lightweight.
All right. Man, speaking of having a taste of a championship, Alexa Grasso drops the ball, drops the fucking block, drops the triangle. She dropped fucking everything because that was just a terrible performance. Did she win a round?
No.
I'm not. Yeah.
No, she got swept.
Yeah, I didn't. I was thinking like I was struggling to say where. I was thinking 4-1 at best, 4-1 Shevchenko at best for Grasso, but I was really struggling to find the one.
Alexa honestly didn't really have that many moments. There was like a few submission threats that were like somewhat dangerous, but I mean Valentina stuffed them.
And she reversed them emphatically. So if there was like a submission threat, it got turned over. She whooped on Alexa's face. And then got a submission threat of her own. It was not pretty. That woman was not happy with Alexa, and she made that clear. Even though she was very gracious in her post-fight interview. I didn't know she spoke Spanish. That was actually really good.
She's half Peruvian.
Oh, she's half Peruvian. Right.
I think her other half is from Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah, that's the flag she usually reps.
Yeah. But yeah, her Spanish is fluent, from what I've heard at least.
From what I heard, it sounded excellent. So let me pull up. Oh, they haven't updated the rankings. This Grasso is still the champion.
Yeah, this was this fight. I was saying last night, it kind of made no sense and total sense at the same time because it made no sense because you couldn't have convinced me that going into the fight that Shevchenko was going to win just by wrestling the whole time. Like that's not going to happen. What are you, crazy? Grasso's the bigger, the stronger one. She's not going to lose on the ground, but that's kind of exactly what happened. And part of the reason it kind of checks out is because Shevchenko has always been the higher fight IQ of the two, right? The more cerebral fighter. And so if there was one person that was going to find an area that Grasso couldn't cope with and just exploit that and spam that the whole time, it was going to be Shevchenko. So, I mean, she found a style that worked, and she like did not let up. She kept her foot on her throat.
Yeah, her takedown attempts and like timing were like almost perfect. Like the timing was so good that like Alexa could barely even attempt to defend the takedown in time. Valentina dominated. I mean, she saw the whole like takedown threat against Alexa and then just honed the takedown skill to a T.
Do you think she did a reverse Michael Chandler? Because Michael Chandler said, fuck the skill wins. I'm going for KOs. And that highlight spinning back fist cost her the title in the first place. And this time she played it beautifully, smart. I'm struggling to find something to criticize or to give critique about.
No, it was a flawless performance. I mean, you could call it boring, which it definitely was, but a win's a win.
Yeah.
I think Valentina really wanted to win this one. Like, I don't think she cared about making it exciting or fan friendly at all. She just really wanted
her belt back.
She wanted that belt and wanted to get the win back against Alexa, and she did pretty decisively.
What is left for Shevchenko to do?
I've heard like rumors that Zhang Weili wants to come up and that she was going to fight the winner of these two. I'm not sure if that's true at all, but she was there last night watching the fight, and the UFC was panning the camera towards her during the fight. So I don't know if they're trying to set it up. Maybe. I mean, champ versus champ.
Yeah, that's a good one to make.
Yeah, and Zhang Weili. I'll say this. I don't know if Valentina's going to be able to wrestle against Zhang Weili. I think Weili has the better wrestling in that matchup.
Although I don't think that Shevchenko would decide to wrestle again. I think that was a plan she cooked up just for Grasso. I think she would try to keep it standing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Zhang Weili has as good of boxing as Alexa does. Yeah, I mean, you could tell that Valentina really did not want to.
She did not want to stand up.
Yeah, she didn't want to play too much on the feet because she was like worried that Alexa does have power and her boxing is nice. So she don't even want to risk it. But
how could she fail at grappling with Diego Lopez coaching her? The guy comes from his own win to come coach.
Her submission attempts were nice, but I don't know if that's all they worked on, because it seemed like she just didn't know how to get up. Or I mean, I don't know. I mean, Valentina's also really good at wrestling, so yeah, Alexa was stuck on the ground.
Where does Alexa go from here? Did she just get a get back fight with like Amanda Ribas, Tracy Cortez?
Let's see. What are the rankings?
Dana White Princess Macy Barber.
Ooh, maybe. Yeah, that's another thing. Manon Fiorot, the French lady, she was the backup fighter for this fight too. So I don't know if maybe Shevchenko fights her. There's for Grasso, there's some names: Erin Blanchfield, Macy Barber, maybe Rose Namajunas, Natalie Silva could also be nice.
Is Natalia Silva the one that just beat Andrade?
Yeah. Okay. So the timing would align.
Yeah, the timing is pretty nice right there.
Man, the top 5 is honestly a little bit stacked. Those are all like incredibly hard fights.
The drop off though was steep.
Oh yeah, the drop off is very, very steep.
Happens a lot in the more often in the women's ranks. Because like Wei Li, champ, Tatiana Suarez, and Yan Xiaonan, excellent.
Jandarova, yeah.
But after that,
I just realized that Jessica Andrade is ranked in both.
Yeah. Man, I was trying to think of a good segue here to get into Merab dominating Sean O'Malley to win the title. Merab doesn't care what your ranking is, Sean. It was a boring kind of like wrestle domination. Sean had no fucking answer for anything, except in the 5th round when he finally landed a kick to the body that had Merab a little bit bothered.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. I think I forget who it was you were talking to in the chat, but you'd said it's either gonna be Sean finds a shot and KOs Merab, or it's gonna be Merab just wrestling and getting takedowns the entire fight. I mean, we knew it was the outcome, and like you said, Sean could not find a shot.
And I think what's so impressive is that coming in, I don't know if you guys heard this in the interim between our last show, but it looked like Merab had a staph infection. Like he had that staph sore on his, I think it was his left arm, and it was like, so this guy went through staph. Like Andy had the cut on his eye during the gym, which didn't reopen during the fight, and he still went out there and steamrolled him. I mean, that's pretty insane.
Nose got broken further in that broken direction.
Oh yeah, even more deformed.
It was just so mangled.
Yeah, it'll be like a Carl Froch. He's not gonna fix it until he's done.
Yeah,
Because what's
gonna
the
say
point?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
All right. So before we talk about Merab, before we go on to him, I want to get just out of the way. Sean O'Malley, what does he do? What can he do next?
Corey Sandhagen.
Yeah, I'd say the same
Corey
thing.
Sandhagen.
Someone who's a striker, someone that he's going to be able to actually stand with, but still test him.
Aldo?
I think Aldo. No, I would say
Aldo might be already booked.
that, and he's so far down the rankings. I would say Davidson Figueiredo or a Piotr Jan rematch. Either of those would be more appealing than Aldo, just because Aldo, just at his age, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
that should not be a competitive fight.
Yeah, don't put him in there with the wrestler. I feel like we can make a lot of fan-friendly fights with Sean that are still competitive. So Nathan was saying, Figgy, Sandhagen, Piotr, those are all those would be at minimum A tier fights.
I guess if you really wanted him to kill someone, you could give him Song Yadong.
I was just about to say that.
Oh, don't do Song like that, right?
I was
That's my
just
guy.
about to
that'd
say.
be bad.
Don't do Song like that.
Montel Jackson, actually. I know he's only at 15. Nobody knows who the fuck he is. He just broke into the rankings, but his hands are fucking sweet. Very, very nice punching. Very nice boxing.
Wait, is Montel the one who got a really fast finish?
Yep.
That's one. Okay, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he looks really solid. Hard to say. I haven't seen anything else about him besides his striking, so I can't really say if he can hang with some of these grappling types. But all right, enough Sean. Merab Dvalishvili wins the title. Performance talk first, and then Umar speculation next. So
I guess from performance standpoint, he did a really, really good job of keeping O'Malley from finding any sort of rhythm in the striking. Even because with Sean, the longer you're on your feet, theoretically, the worse it is for you. But he spent a decent amount of time in front of Sean, and Sean, I think he expected him to blitz more. Maybe he was just trying to exclusively counter. But Merab used that to his advantage, and he didn't let him really set up a good range. He's constantly kind of bobbing in and out. And every time he did come close, he'd shoot for that explosive takedown, and he'd get it pretty much every time.
didn't O'Malley only stop one takedown attempt?
Objectively stopped one, and then there were a couple that he immediately got back up to his feet from.
I feel like Merab's style, I don't know if he cares about how long he controls, but I think he just cares about chaining them together and consistently being on his opponent like a backpack, not letting him breathe at all. And that's what he was doing. Sean was not able to chill at all during that fight. Merab was on him consistently throughout the fight. Maybe at the fifth round, Merab sort of slowed down a little bit. But, it was one of those dominant performances. Merab implemented his game plan really well. Not fan-friendly, I would say.
No.
Because, the way Merab was getting his takedowns against Sean, it was, I'm going to put you up against the cage, lean on you, and then whenever I see the opportunity, I'm sort of just going to drag you to the ground and get on top. But against, Cejudo, we were seeing Merab pick up Henry, walk over to his corner, and then, slamming Henry down onto the canvas. I feel like there's ways he can make it exciting. Maybe he just wanted to play it safe, and he didn't want to risk anything, just wanted to become champion, I guess. But I don't know. It was definitely not a fan-friendly performance for Merab. But he got his win, and he's now champion.
Does Merab wrestle to the level of his opponent? Because wrestling versus Cejudo and showing out, he's taking on another elite grappler, right? Versus Sean O'Malley, who does not he couldn't wrestle his way out of a fucking paper bag, and he's just taking him down, kind of controlling the time for a little bit, and then get up and do it again. Like it was just enough to keep O'Malley behind on the cards.
Yeah, I mean, Merab had like a clear advantage over Sean, but I don't know. Maybe Merab wanted to make a statement in the Cejudo fight, just because he was like, I need to make a statement win to make my case for the title. Like it mattered more to him how he won, or maybe not mattered more, but like he cared about it at least. I think in this fight, maybe he didn't care how he won. He just cared if he won.
Okay, well, that's actually going to carry in nicely to the question of Umar Nurmagomedov, who was in the building. They were panning to him too, so it seems like they flew him out just like they did with Wei Li for Shevchenko.
Yeah,
I don't know what to make of that fight as a possibility.
I think it's definitely on the table. I forget he was. Who was Merab wanting to fight? Was it Figueiredo?
I don't recall him calling anyone out because he was just rambling.
Yeah, I thought he just wanted. Wait, were we talking about post fight or pre fight?
Post fight, like because
post-fight.
They asked him about Umar, and he was like, he said something about I don't want to fight Umar. Like he didn't think Umar deserved it yet.
That's talk for I don't want to fight. I don't want any of this smoke.
Yeah,
man.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah.
Which I don't blame him. I mean, Umar's good. Umar's really good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fight where I feel like his wrestling, like, I mean, that's his strongest attribute. Well, that and his cardio, and I don't know if he is going to be able to implement it as much against Umar.
Yeah, I feel like the wrestling could negate, and then it just becomes a straight up striking match, and then he's in trouble because Umar is a lot better of a striker than he is.
Yeah, Umar hung in there on the feet with Corey Sandhagen. That means something. And
this is a guy who is just as good with the grappling techniques with that Dagestani Sambo. Yeah.
Yeah, Umar is like really, really good on the ground. Like he trains with Khabib in Islam. So yeah. Oh yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, so Joe Rogan asked Merab after the fight. Well, while they were in the octagon, he asked him about Umar, and Merab just ignored it.
Nice.
Merab just ignored it, and there was something in the post-fight press conference too. I want to say it was Figueiredo, but
that's not a bad shout either, though, is it?
I mean, it would be a good fight. Like Figgy is on a winning streak, and he is a former champion. Not only that, but like he knocked down Chito Vera in his fight, and that definitely counts for something. Like Sean O'Malley couldn't even do that.
He did piece up Chito.
Yeah, I mean it was near domination.
Yeah, I would definitely take that fight if it was next.
So
yeah, it's not a bad option.
Yeah,
it's not a bad option. I think what everyone's saying is that he doesn't want to fight Umar.
Let's move along into the previews here. Tuesday, December 24th, Dana White's Contender Series Week 7. So have fun with that. Saturday, the 28th, UFC Fight Night in Paris. Is there anything on the prelims? All right. Fares Ziam versus Matt Frivola. Lightweights, Morgan Charrier versus AJ Cunningham. Jan Kudalaba versus Ivan Urslan at light heavy. So is Kudalaba like Johnny Walker?
Sort of. I mean, he doesn't get knocked out in like funny ways, but it is like
kill or be killed.
Yeah, he either like runs over his opponent or he gets run over. Like I don't know if I've seen a fight that's in between.
Next, co-main, Nasruddin Imavov versus Brendan Allen.
Ooh,
that fight means
that's
something.
A good fight.
Yeah, that fight actually means something for middleweight. These are like both.
Yeah, Imavov is rated 4th. Allen is 8th currently in the rankings.
I think Brendan Allen's been a little bit on a tear as of late. I mean,
they both have. I mean, Imavov has won 2 straight since he lost to Sean Strickland. So this is like his little. They're both on kind of a bit of a redemption tour, I believe.
So Brendan Allen is on a 7-fight win streak at the moment, and he's sort of like a well-rounded guy from what I remember.
Yeah, he is.
In terms of his offense. That should be an exciting fight, and these are like guys at the top of middleweight, so it's an important fight too.
Izzy, fucking Strickland, Whitaker, Those are like the top non-champion guys.
Yeah, Izzy, Strickland, Whitaker. Yeah, those are all guys at the top. I feel like whoever wins out of these two, Imavov and Allen, we might see them in a fight against those names like Strickland, Whitaker.
Yeah, they'll be next up for a contender fight.
Yep.
Like number one,
The
eliminator
Eliminator
or something like that.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, these are the new guard.
Brendan Allen. Is he the guy who paints his face with the Scottish flag? Or is that
Yeah,
That's Paul Craig.
Paul Craig?
Paul Craig is one of
All
those
right.
Scottish.
Two first
but he
names.
does wear he wears a
He has a
I don't
hat.
know, what is this, a lynx hat or something like that?
Yeah, it's like a fur hat or something like that.
Well then, moving along. Main event here. Renato Moicano versus Benoit Saint-Denis.
This is such a great fight.
11th
Yeah.
and 12th at lightweight.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good fight. I think. Get some good style. It's a good style matchup. I think.
For sure. They're both kind of a blend of grappler and striker. Moicano's more of the wrestler, Saint Denis more of the striker. So it should be really fun. They're both. I mean, Moicano won his most recent fight. BSD is looking for his get back after the Poirier loss, but that's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, I lean. Who do you think is gonna win this? By the way, I feel like I lean slightly towards Saint-Denis.
I'm the same way. Well, my mind says that, but I am kind of interested to see how he looks post
Post-crack.
Poirier. He's that too, but he's not exactly a young fighter, right? He's in his 30s already, and so it will be interesting to see how this kind of plays out.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a good matchup. I saw that people were saying that they wanted Moicano to face Patty, that they wanted him to fight Patty. If Moicano gets this win, I feel like he's gonna be like a sort of a, maybe not like champ material, but he'll be like one of those guys at lightweight that people will always tune in to watch. Just because he had a good performance against Jalen Turner, almost got knocked out but came back to win. He's funny outside of the octagon, like in his personal life. People care about him. People care about him. So I feel like this win could do seriously good things for him, for both guys, but Moicano in particular in my mind.
He stands to gain more.
Yeah. I think so, because he's already like a little bit higher in terms of like fan base in the UFC. I feel like, at least. I may be wrong, but
That's the main event for this one, and I think that's all we got. Well then, let me do... Thanks for listening to this episode of The Ultimate Effin' Casual, a Lux Media production. If you'd like to give your thoughts, or you need to let us know how casual you think we are, you can text our anonymous line at 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on business, call and leave a voice message, and we'll see if you're entertaining enough to make the final cut of the show. 833-LUXPODS. Can't go wrong. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVX Media Net. That's on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and all the rest of that shit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. A lot of stuff gets cut from final releases for all kinds of reasons, so if you want the raw audio from our lips direct to your ears, look us up on Patreon, LVX Media Net, just like everywhere else. Intro and outro by Middle of Nowhere Beats, and for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. And we finish off with our parting words, heading into Fight Night in Paris.
for me, we just finished UFC 306. There's 307 that we still need to get by. I think that's the Utah card. But then we have UFC 308, which I think is going to be like the next big night.
It's a monster.
Yeah, and we're not that far away. Well, there's only one more pay-per-view in the way.
October's fucking huge.
Yeah, we're going to be eating in October.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and 307 is not something to look over, especially when you have the face of your sport with Alex Pereira headlining the card, even if it's against a weaker opponent. I mean, I'll take that any day.
Chama. October is going to be a great month for combat sports.
Yeah, in boxing, we've got the Bivol Proterviev fight.
Yep.
Finally.
Undisputed light heavyweight champion will be crowned.
And the Ngannou fight, too. It's like back-to-back.
Yeah, Ngannou's finally debuting in PFL.
Yeah, and Catterall and and Regis is also tossed in.
That's
as
a
well.
good fight. That is
Yeah.
low key really good.
It's
I
been
think people
brewing
are
for a
sleeping
while
on
now.
that. This is our last episode before we get into October. So this will be fun. If October is gonna be fun, I mean, get your pumpkins out, get your fucking black cats out. What else do we get?
Candy corn.
Candy corn. Gross. Do you like candy corn?
I love candy corn.
Damn,
I've
that's-
yet
rare.
to meet another human being that does like candy corn.
You're the second
That's in the
person
same
I've ever
tier.
met that likes it.
Oh, so that's in the same tier as licorice.
Oh, man, yeah, candy corn. What? All right.